Bibby will try again.
James, recognizing nobody's there, has an appointment with the basketball and finishes it emphatically.
I had to start the video with me laughing. This is definitely going to be one of my favorite episodes so far.
Oh, please.
I'm sorry for all those who don't understand this language. It's true from Ghana, we are Ghanaians, so I'm sure Teddy understands and you knows where I'm coming from. This episode, yeah, Clipper Nation, I salute you. Yeah, once again, welcome to the Put Back Show. My name is Slimo, and of course, I've got my right hand man Teddy here. We they can dissect. I come to break everything down on how the Clippers resurgence has begun. Now, you know how things started with this season. The Clippers, we had high expectations with Robert Covington. We had Nicholas Batum. We had Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup for us. And then we make the big trade where it got everybody talking. James Harden being traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. And our first 6 games, 0-6.
007, James Bond.
0-6. And the whole NBA, the whole community said, oh, it's not going to work. You can't put all these stars together. We've seen Harden on the net and all this brouhaha. And after the 6 games, Harden said, if we figure it out, this shit is going to be scary. And it's getting scary for some people, but not for us. We are ready. Tell you. Interesting stuff from the Clippers so far. But in their last 31 games, they've won 26 matches. How impressed are you with what you've seen from the Clippers?
I've been very, very impressed about what they've done, and it's more for me. It's more about the confidence and the comfort they are playing with. So it's not like it's only about how Harden has moved the needle for them. It's not with how Kawhi has been available. It's not with how good PG has been this season. It's like every player is comfortable with their role and with what they are doing now on both offense and on defense. It's like the team they figured out how to play basketball and it's working now. And if they keep playing like this till the end of the season and then with health being on their side, enter into the playoffs, they're going to be one of the most dangerous teams, nevertheless.
Well, Teddy made mention of one important fact that I have to highlight a bit. Their roles. I think that's so key. It's so slept on. Now, when you put stars like, in fact, 4 future Hall of Famers and Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George together, assigning the roles is the most difficult part. But I'll have to give huge credit to
in terms of hierarchy
here. 2 people here. I'll start with Russell Westbrook. When he was in the starting lineup with James Harden, we all knew it couldn't work with the 0-6 start. Then he sacrificed himself and told Tyloo, hey, I'll come off the bench and I'll bring you the same energy, and he's done that. Number 2 player I'll have to talk about is Paul George. When it was the 2-1-3 era with only Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, it was like, okay, take your shots, I'll take my shots. And it was Paul George kind of initiating the offense with no point guard. But this time, Paul George is acting more or less like a spot-up shooter. Just coming off the pin downs, coming off the curls, and then getting your shots up. You won't see him in too many isolations dribbles. So it feels like Paul George has accepted the role that, hey, let Kawhi and Harden go to work. I'll just be in the corner or in the spot-up moment and get the pin downs and be able to shoot that. So those 2 guys have just bought into what Tyloo wants them to do, and it's been incredible.
And also on defense, I feel like Plumlee and Tice, they've done their job. They've done so amazingly with Zubac being out. And with the team, it's like everyone is playing good defense because you have one of the 2 of the best wings, defensive wings in the league. You have Kawhi, you have George. So even when you meet teams where they have one All-Star or one All-NBA kind player, you'll be able to guard him. If they have 2, you can. If they have 3, you can do same. And you are able to navigate around screens. And then sometimes, even on switches, when you get mismatches against the Boston game, I think I saw it so much where even on switches, when Jason Tatum or maybe Brown, they're able to drive down the lane, get to the paint, there's always Kawhi as the help defender coming in to block. And that was one of the games where it's like you guys played where you needed the win so much, and it brought out so much of the things where you guys are doing. And even on offense, sometimes James Harden can get the ball maybe when he initiates the play, he can either pass it to Kawhi, he can pass it to George, or maybe sometimes they can be screens, and when the screens are maybe blocked or when the other team navigates around the screen, there's the pick and roll, and he can go to work. He can drive. He can wiggle, step back, and then get the three. He can wiggle, step back, get the foul. It's like there's so much to do on offense for them.
The variations are indeed a lot.
It's so amazing.
I mean, that's what makes the Clippers an offensive powerhouse. Now, if you take all the contenders within the league, I think there are two forms of contenders. The traditional big contenders with huge size and lineups, and we've got the contenders that rely on jump shooting. When I speak of the traditional big contenders, I'm speaking of even your Denver Nuggets. They go big when they want to, so they've got a mix of the two. So I'll put them in the traditional big category. We've got Milwaukee, where everything runs through, and maybe they might change things a little bit. But we've got the likes of the Timberwolves, who also with the Twin Towers in there. The Lakers, who also have got those big lineups, and then we come to the team that relies on the jump shot. They live and die by the jump shot. The Boston Celtics, the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Clippers, sometimes the OKC Thunder. And within this category of the jump shots guys, you've got to figure out which one of those can knock down threes better. And right now, the Clippers are the number one team shooting threes. The percentage is number one in there. It used to be the Boston Celtics. It's not anymore. So I think on that end, they've just showed anybody that if you want to come jump shot against jump shot, the Clippers will outscore you. And we saw that against the Boston Celtics. People didn't believe the Clippers can go all the way till we beat the Celtics, we beat the Nuggets, we beat some really good teams, and the spotlight has now come on the Celtics.
And you see, it's so amazing how now if maybe Harden has the ball and he's driving, there's Kawhi, and now Kawhi is actually shooting well from three. Like this season, he's actually shooting very well from three. So he can drive. Maybe there's Kawhi here. Maybe there's George. So maybe when there's a closeout, they can swing to George. He can swing to George, or George can also swing to. So it's like when you close out on this, there's the open guy. There's always the open guy. It's either George, it's either Kawhi, it's either
Terrence, got James Harden, a lot of.
And even we are not even speaking of Power. Power has been one of the most amazing players on the team.
He's shooting 70% from corner threes,
and your ability to go small. Against
the at the Atlanta game, like
it's unheard of.
In the final minutes when we saw that we had to make things a lot more quicker, it started rushing to the final stretch of the game, and then Amir Coffey, it just gave us the confidence to go small. So I think that's what Teddy wants to touch on. Now, to end things, I feel for the Los Angeles Clippers, if you've been watching us for the past few games, or in fact the whole season, you'd probably say we need probably a bigger lineup, because when we go against the bigger teams, we've lost against the Timberwolves this year, we've lost against the Pelicans. We've also beaten the Pelicans in amazing fashion. So I've seen people say we should go in for the trade like Kelly Olynyk, maybe get a power forward that is big enough, could space the floor, a two-way guy. But I know that does not come easy within this league. So it'll be interesting to see how the Clippers go forward. Last 31 games, 26 victories. Now, number one in the West. Is Kawhi Leonard your candidate for MVP? Well, that discussion will surely come. We'll first them our next stop.
Relax.
Wow. Number one in the West, we'll see how everything goes down with the Los Angeles Clippers, who are high and flying. This is the Putback Show. We're signing out for this one. Stay tuned for more content coming on the Putback Show.